I was filming the boy beat with Eddie a few days ago, and he was telling me how on our music video reaction to Lisa's solo debut, apparently someone, because there was a part in the video where he said that there was another song that came out at the time as well that we just did not like. And apparently someone thought that we were talking about STAYC, but I am not. It's the boy nutty. Sek Angyong, Stereotype. Even bought the, I have like every STAYC album, but they got me thinking I kind of want to try their eye makeup that they have because it's quite unique. Like the whole like only one side being really wariohe. God knows I've been doing way too many fucking idol videos, and because they all happen to come back around the same time, and I've said many times before that those videos take me so long to edit, and so by the time I finish one video, literally, oh Edward, do you want to collab with this one group? And I'm like, I can't, it's hard for me to say no. And so I don't even fucking get paid for those things. And like half the time they get like copyright, like the copyright, so like I don't even make money from them. So anyway, for doing a beauty video, because these things don't take me that long to edit, I actually have a mirror. I got a mirror I can like, you know, so I don't have to, I always cover my face with the hand mirrors that I use. I remember ordering makeup from this brand called Danessa Myricks, is that her name? I got these like liquid shadows that are like really pigmented, and I thought these are like perfect because that's like literally these are the colors that they have on their eyes. But I'm afraid I'm gonna make like a mistake, so I kind of low-key want to do my eyes first. And I apologize if you don't see this well because I have like this strong lighting that only shoots here. I'm kind of facing this way the whole time, but I'm gonna be drawing on this side because I feel like this is I prefer this eye more. The cushion I'm gonna be using for foundation is this YSL Encre de Pied All Hours cushion. YSL, ever since Rosé became the model for this brand, it's just like, don't need this shit, but I buy it because subconsciously in my head I'm thinking if I buy this makeup, maybe I'll be as pretty as Rosé, still looking like trash. Oh my god, no. I need to prep my skin first. So as we all know, or if you didn't already know, I'm starting a new makeup brand. View 92, not my brand anymore. Wasn't really my brand for a while, but starting a new brand, and our first product is nearly, like we did the photo shoot and everything recently for our first product, and we got the package. Should I spoil it? Do I spoil it? It sounds like... I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on this shit because I don't think there's a lot of products, if any, especially in the American market, with products like this. I call it the name of the product, like it says skin fluid, but like that's what I name it, but it's kind of really, it's not really a lotion, it's not a cream, it's really watery, but like when you blend into the skin, it really like thickens and gives your skin like this really pretty, how I like to describe it is the feeling of when you use like a sheet mask. And you know, after you use a really good sheet mask, you have that creamy, soft, like pantanan, like really fortified skin feeling. It's like that, but like in a bottle. It's like instant. You know, it's not like a sheet mask where you have to put it on for like 10 minutes, but it's perfect for like before makeup. Great for doing makeup because it helps make that glow long lasting. You know when you put like glowy primer, foundation, and because like it's dry in your wherever you are or whatever, like after 10 minutes and the foundation has set everything, it's not glowing anymore, it's just like matte. It's good for that. It's good for matte foundation because sometimes matte foundation can make your skin look dry. It makes the matte foundation look a little bit more creamy, so it doesn't look like overly dry and dead. In the marketing, we emphasize, I guess, the fact that it's great before makeup, but it's not, I didn't make it like a primer, right? It works great as a primer, but it's skincare. So whether you wear makeup or not, it's gonna make your skin look really great. And then I'm gonna use this 3 loose powder just to lightly set my eyes because I don't want the shadows to get all lumpy. Just lightly, because if you completely set it too much, then there won't be any pigment on the eyes. So although one side has that kind of like colorful liner, in general, the eyes seem to have some kind of like Rom&nd, like basic color. So I'm gonna use my eyeshadow palette that I'm making, which will come out after the cream is gonna come out in October, and then afterwards the eyeshadow palette. So they all have varying levels of like, varying degrees of Rom&nd. So I'm using these matte shades just to give basic contour to the eye, and then we use a little bit of this shimmer. I don't want to say shimmer, it's not really shimmer, it's more like almost like a highlighter sort of shade. Use that in the center just to give dimensiones. I'm just gonna do the top half, and after I do all the intricate line work, then I'll finish foundation, like the rest. I also think they have like, they start off with like brown or black eyeliner. So I'm going to use this CLIO Sharp So Simple. Just give like a base liner. Please don't mind my weird hairbrush mirror thing. Now I have hooded lids, so I have to line my eyes in a very specific way. I can't just like put liner on the entire upper lid or else it will make my eyes look even rounder. The whole point of this makeup is to kind of have like it follow the natural curvature of the eye. So if you have hooded lids like me, what I do is kind of only line this inner and the outer corner, keeping it very close just on the inside. And the outside is like the most important part. You kind of want to start off like look into the mirror and then turn your head to the left or right, depending if you're doing this eye. And you're only putting this little triangle right here. You're filling just the very outer corner right here. Can you see that? And what you're doing is you're gonna extend that outwards. That's why I think these skinny little liners are really good, because they're really precise. And what I like to do sometimes is even just draw that little triangle and use my fingernail just while the liner still hasn't set, and literally just like pull it across. And that's a really good technique for literally if you're just trying to give yourself a little baby wing. Because sometimes using these pencils, when you keep trying to like drag it out, it makes the line thicker and thicker because you just can't get the sharp line. So I like to use my fingernail sometimes. But do you see my crease line right here? Basically, I want the flow of my liner to follow that. If I go any higher, it will kind of like, because I want the lines to be like this being my crease line and this being the eyeliner. If the eyeliner suddenly goes like this, that's where you get that kind of like thick looking, just like the kind of line that kind of just makes your eye look more smaller, I suppose. And since on this I'm not going to have any of that fancy colorful eyeliner, I'm going to use the darkest shade in my eyeshadow palette just to smudge that brown liner out. And also this will set it pencil so that it lasts longer. Even though I'm washing my face after this. When it comes to filling your waterline, if you look straight into the mirror, you have the type of eye where you can see the waterline when you look straight into a mirror. In that situation, yeah, you can fill in the waterline, but I might do that a little bit later after I... Okay, shall we do the liner? Now they have different combinations of green, yellow, purple, pink. I have this palette that I'm gonna put all the colors on, but I kind of like Sheehan's eye, where it starts with the purple. So I'm gonna use this Huda Beauty one because this is the only cream eyeshadow I have in that kind of color. It's not as bluish purple, it's more like this kind of color. I'm gonna use a tiny little eyeliner brush. I actually ordered these like really tiny detail paint brushes, but they haven't arrived yet, and I really want to film this video, so I'm just gonna try it with this. I'm dipping the brush in, and then on the edge of the palette, I'm like scraping off the excess because this line has to be fucking sharp, bitch. It has to be sharp. And the key point of this eyeliner is that it's following the natural shape, flow of the eye. So with this purple color, I'm using it to even if it covers the brown liner in it a little bit, it's fine. And I think because of our eye shapes are so different, you might not see this liner as much because again, I have less lid space to work with. If I had a different eye shape, I probably would go across the entire lid, but I still want to maintain. Make sure you wipe your brush between uses because these shadows get really gunky as they start to dry and set. So yeah, it's not as vibrant as hers, but hopefully we get the idea. Next to Orangey Colorfix Neon Matte in Jelly Bean. This shit is bright, and they're pigmented. Like they actually go on as it looks. Like that's insane. You don't get that shit in K-Beauty, no ma'am. For this one, I'm gonna make it kind of go on right above my crease line. And again, it's so important for this to follow the natural shape of the light, because if it goes any lower, again, it can like make the eye shape look squished. And so I want it to look completely like just naturally flowing. Especially right this part. Hopefully you can see that. I can't, the monitor is over here, it's like hard to see. I'm just gonna get the basic line first before I go back in and go over the line again to make it more pigmented, but oh look, my hand is so fucking shaky. I'm so nervous. How far do these go? Some lines go all the way from here, all the way out, but I want these to kind of look fade and... Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit wonky, but I think I'm pretty happy with the overall shape. I just need to fix it a little bit because these things set so quickly. I tried to fix it as best I could, but I don't think there's any saving her. So I'm just gonna move on to the neon yellow one. I wish I had white, but I do not. This is so hard. I feel like with monolids, the space is a little bit flatter here, so it's easier to get these shapes, but my eyes are just like so curved. I got it, but you can barely see it. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry so that, and then I'm gonna go over it again with the second layer, but for now I'm going to do a little bit of my base makeup using this Saem concealer, the peach one, dark circles in my my beard. I took the puff out of this YSL cushion because I'm not really into YSL's little puffs that come with their cushions. If you're in Korea, definitely I would recommend going to Olive Young and picking up these Philly Millie cushion puffs. They're super squishy and soft, so it helps blend and put the right amount of pigment on your face. And I feel like the finish looks so much more soft and pretty. Puffs that come with cushions, sometimes they're so thin. So it makes blending a little bit harder. And just for a little bit of extra concealing, this Luna concealer. Make sure whenever, especially if you're using it straight from the thing, to always 양쳐줘 this shit. Take off the excess on the lid. I know on TikTok or whatever, it's really popular to like do like the one swipe here and the one swipe here, but for me, as someone with wrinkles and really bad laugh lines, it's like a no-go for me. And also, a lot of times I'll be using really light concealers there, and so it will just look like really white under the eyes, and I'm not really into that look. I'm actually really satisfied with how this turned out. I kind of wish I did more talking videos where I could, because one of the reasons I really like doing the boy beat, I feel like those are times where I get to actually wear, for me out there, makeup. Whenever I film with idols, I kind of don't want to go overboard, because a lot of times the setting will be like in their practice room, so I don't want to look like, you know, crazy, especially because my outfits tend to be more casual than suddenly like this like, you know, overdone sort of makeup. I feel like it's kind of funny in that situation, so I don't know. Not that filming a boy beat is any much crazier, but I don't know. Yeah, so that's why I wish I did more talking videos where I can do makeup like this, and it's not like that weird, if that makes sense, because it'd be more just like, oh, just at home messing around with makeup. So before I did the talking video, I just wanted to like try something else, that kind of vibe. And because her skin wasn't really like glowy or anything, I'm gonna use the same powder I used earlier. This powder in particular is not really like deadly mattifying. In fact, if you wore this out, eventually it will turn glowy again, the foundation. So eyebrows, eyebrow junin, because they're idols. I need to do these like quite, I guess like defined but also soft brows. So I'm using these two brow powders from the KVD. The darker one just to get the shape. And then the softer one more on the front part of the brow. I really only use the dark one on the lower part and the outer part because I'm missing hair here, so the shape is kind of wonky. I like my brows more defined on the outside corner. Then I'm using a brow pencil just for any detail work. And also drawing fake hair on the front Although I don't think this is gonna make too much of a difference because with my lighting, it washes out a lot of minute details. And then a little bit of brown mascara just to even out the color. This one is actually a gray color, so I like to brush them up so it has that kind of like soap brow effect, but this brow mascara in particular doesn't really have holding power per se, so I kind of just use it just to recolor the brow. And just quickly contour 이걸로 Etude House. Just a little bit on the sides. I have this highlighter from Chanel that I got as a birthday present this year. So I'm just gonna use this on my nose. Not a lot, because it's not a highlighter look. I just want that part of my nose to look more defined. Oh shit, I should have just used the highlighter in my eyeshadow palette. The kind of highlighter shade in my eyeshadow palette I'm making can be used as like a highlighter on the skin. Maybe I'll use a little bit on the inner corner here. I'm making a warm and a cool palette, and that originally was a color I put in the cool palette, but I felt like it suited the warm palette a little bit more because it's kind of like this rose goldy sort of shade, so I put that in the warm palette. I feel like my lashes are looking a little bit powdery, so I'm going to use this kind of like ash brown mascara. For them, I'm sure they use like black mascara or dark brown, but it's the All Fix Mascara from Rom&nd in the shade L03 Long Hazel. I use the shade Long Ash, I think it's called, the grayish one, in that game character sort of makeup tutorial that I did with Sha from Blitzers. This is the brown version. The other one is the cool version, the ash gray one. I feel a little bit sad that the light's coming this way, and so it's casting a shadow on this side, but this is like the whole point of the video, this side. But because this side looks a little bit boring, actually, because in some of their shots they have in their stage makeup, they have like a cubic. In Korea, they call these cubic, which is like gemstones, basically. Swarovski crystals. So I'm gonna use these fairly small ones. I don't have any clear dual lash glue, so I'm gonna use the black one, but hopefully it doesn't show too much. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna finish the rest of my under eye makeup, which is I said I was gonna do. I really wish I could show you guys the colors right now, but it's not completely like set in stone yet. So for now, you're just gonna have to trust me when I just say a medium brown. So I'm using a medium brown. I think this brush has some leftover pigment from this makeup that I did before, so this turns out slightly more red purple. That is why. I'm doing the same way I always do, kind of reflecting the upper lid. I'm contouring the outer and the inner corner and leaving kind of like the center of the front. A lot of Korean makeup artists and stuff will just fill in the whole bottom line, but that doesn't suit me. It really closes off my eye and makes it look super taptape. And to be honest, the makeup artist that did my makeup for the photo shoot for our first product kind of did that, and like in person it looked really cool, but on camera it kind of made my eyes look a little bit smaller, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think next time, because they were telling me like, oh, you know, Edward, since someone else is doing your makeup, if you don't like it, let me know so I can tell them, but I am not that type. And to be honest, it didn't look that bad to me, but next time I'm using this shimmery highlighter color on my Eguisar. While we were taking the photos, I couldn't monitor the photos myself, so I couldn't like make adjustments. The pictures still look really pretty, so. And if anything, we have Photoshop, so it's okay. Oh God, I love this palette so much. It's like my perfect warm tone palette, and I feel so bad for my company. The people that work at the company that's backing this whole brand are so nice. I'm so indecisive about like colors and stuff. I keep asking for changes, but I literally left this palette upside down on my desk. Now there's neon colors all over. Yeah, but they're really nice about, you know, whenever I need to adjust colors and stuff, because these are like 9-pan shadows and there's 2 of them. So each individual color I have to constantly test and like all that. Either Saem or Isa had like 3. They might have been on her lashes. I don't know if they're on her lashes or her lower lash line, but I'm just gonna, around here. For people that do nails, they have these little, these wax pencils that help grab the thing. Like it makes it easy to just stick it. Before I would just use tweezers and that was hell. See, like you can literally just grab it. Can you see that? It's nice. For blush, in the album photos, you don't really see a lot of blush, but if you see their stage makeup, they have quite a bit of blush. So I think it's just a really faint color. So I'm gonna use this Rom&nd Blueberry Chip. They have very like around here, but more, I'm gonna put it more where I would put my own blush, which is more like in a line on the top of my cheeks. Yeah, this looks very similar to what they're wearing. They say this blush is like the perfect blush for people with summer cool, mute personal colors, but for me, it doesn't come off as like a natural color. Like it's very clear it's like this pink blush on me. When it comes to blush, if I want something natural, I prefer pushing more warm tone. I think with this blush as well, so you kind of have to let it sit on your skin for let it cook a little bit, because on first application it's quite pink, but over time it kind of like deepens a little bit on my skin tone. And then for lips, kill the color a bit, and just so the lip color doesn't mix with the foundation on my lips. This is really good tip for if you have like slightly more really red or darker lips and you want the actual color of your lips to come through. Cover the edges with a little bit of concealer or foundation or whatever you're using, and then set the edge with some powder. That way the two don't mix, because if your foundation mixes with your lip color, then you end up with not the lip color. I'm using these two products. Number 1 as a base, I'm using the Ink Airy Stick in number 15 from Petit Peta. It's this kind of like soft, muted indie pink. I'm using just like in the center. If I put it all the way to edges, it will make my lips look too big. And then I'm gonna use this lip smudging brush. This is a really cute brush. It's from Kumo. It's literally called the fingertip brush, and it's the perfect brush for blending out lips. It also almost acts like a sponge in that it soaks up some of the extra product. If you have dry lips like me, an important thing to do is really make sure you don't have like an excessive amount of product on your lips, because the more product that's on your lips, the drier your lips will look and get. So having like a thin layer helps the lip color last longer and your lips be less likely to dry out so quickly. I randomly went to Innisfree and they had a bunch of stuff. This has been a while. Nobody shops at Innisfree anymore, but this airy matte tint in number 1, Magenta Mauve, which isn't really that magenta mauve-y to me, to be honest. It's quite warm. They all have varying lip colors, but it's still a really pretty color. The purple was looking a little bit dull to me, so I actually, Anastasia saved the day. I have this ABH Norvina palette, and there's a purple shade in here. I use this one just to go over the line a little bit to make it look a little bit slightly more pronounced. I'm actually really happy with this look. I wouldn't even mind going out like this. Actually, no, let me stop. I'm getting ahead of myself. I feel like this is a really fun look that's actually not that crazy, so you can totally, I would even say this is almost wearable in a way, depending on the amount of lines that you do and the colors that you use. Because it's really just like basic makeup with just like point. And I feel like with the advent of TikTok and all that, you see a lot more wild looks out there anyway. So I feel like if you want to step into that, something a little bit more exciting, this is one of those looks that can help you transition into that, I suppose. Okay, I'm filming this after I just filmed the ending, so I'm gonna intersperse the clips. But there's two things I forgot to do. One, I added this one little pink line because I think it was Isa. One of them had this pink line, and I remember I wanted to do that. So it's a slight pink line, and then I had to go over it. I used this Haus Labs pencil. It's a very pale pink that's almost white, but it's in the shade Open Wide, but I felt like it was too white, so I went over it with like a pink eyeshadow I had. If you look at their vlogs, like their behind the scenes videos during this promotion period, they have quite a bit of shimmer, and I can't believe I forgot to put shimmer. So in my eyeshadow palette, I have this really, how do I describe it? This kind of like, in Korea they call these like Vaseline sorts of shimmer, because it's not so much like pigment, it's more so just like this sort of thing. So I'm using that just like pretty much all over. This is the kind of shimmer that you will probably disappear like while they're on stage because of the strong lights. You can, it's like even now you can hardly see it, but in things like their vlogs and stuff in like regular lighting, you can definitely see it. So you probably can't see on camera, but anyway, yeah, now I have to refilm the posing part. Anyway, I'm really freaking happy about the amount. Like Kyungju was showing me like a graph of like last week's top keyword searches, and STAYC's name was like the biggest in that little cloud graphic next to Sheeun and like all the members' names. And so they're killing it. They're going out on all the freaking YouTube shows and doing all the pangsongs. So when they debuted, I was like, these bitches are gonna be like the next big thing. What do you know? They are the next big thing. So I'm really excited for that. In a way, I almost feel like, I describe, it's almost like this generation's girls' generation. If that makes sense, I feel like they're gonna be like that next big group because they're all fucking gorgeous. They'll have great personalities. They're all fun on camera. They're great live singers. Their choreography is amazing. Their music is amazing. Obviously, black-eyed person. STAYC, girls, it's going down. Yeah.